I can't believe it lost my audio. Anyhow, Lucy and I are in Salem, Massachusetts, and we had a great time. We loved the Witches Mall, and in the Witches Mall, they had super clean restrooms, which we thoroughly enjoyed. So many cute shops, and you can get cheap t-shirts in there. I think it's $12 for a t-shirt, 2 for 20. Just everything Halloween. You know, they do the seances, they do the tarot cards, they do everything. There's the cheap t-shirt shop. That's Witches Tees. They have a haunted museum, the Monster Museum, which is pretty cool. Most of these museums are like $12, $13 to go in. No, I'm not really into psychic readings. No thanks. But you can also dress as a witch and they'll take your pictures. I did not ask about the prices. And they had a Polish place that had pierogies. So the deli looked really, really good, but I just wasn't interested in lunch. Oh, they had so many different walk-in tours during the day and the evening. I mean, the walk-in tours were walking all over itself. So I found this cheap place at the mall for a pizza by the slice. I believe one slice was $2.99 or 2 for $5. This was voted the best burgers, and $11.99 for a third-pound hamburger and fries, so the price wasn't that bad. They had prime rib for $20. That special was yummy. I saw others eating it. All right, this trolley costs $20, and it takes you on an hour tour all the way around. I found this unique little house over by the graveyards. They had a lot of interesting information about the people that lived in Salem, Massachusetts when all of this was going on. Neat gravestones and everything, just beautiful. All right, and then they made a memorial where the grave sites are of all the people that were hung there. So it was pretty in-depth. What a way to go, hung. That's terrible. Just not my way to go. Sorry. But it was very, very interesting seeing all this history. It is an amazing history, but it's a very sad history, how people can be so wrong about something. They weren't sure why these people acted possessed, if that's the word, whether it was poisonous mushrooms or whatever. They never decided what made them act that way. So you can walk around this cemetery, and if you grab a brochure, it's an accepted donation for $2. But it was pretty neat seeing how ornate all the gravestones were. People worked a long, hard time carving these gravestones. Nowadays we have all this modern things and everything looks copycat. But it really is a cool cemetery, and it's right there in downtown Salem. Everything is within parking distance. It really is. They did have parking meters. We'll talk about that in a minute. Lots and lots of different tours, cool shops everywhere. I walked 12,000 steps. I carried Lucy for half of them. But, are we getting to my penny machine? My favorite. Yep. All right. I did pick one. I didn't like any of them. But I had to have one that said Salem, Massachusetts, so I took the one with the pentagram, which just basically wards off evil spirits, if you believe in that sort of stuff. I couldn't believe that they actually had pirates out here in Massachusetts, and you can go ahead and read the story. And just to make it real quick, is basically they came in town one night, they robbed the people or something, and then they sailed away in the boat. So the Pirate Museum looked interesting, and again, I believe it was $13 or $12 for seniors. But they had a beautiful diorama, and I thought it was pretty cool. You know, this way you could envision what it was really like. Salem, Massachusetts was so much fun, but it was so tiring. This is a beautiful hotel right there on the harbor. And if you are camped there, you can afford it. But if not, we'll be spending the night in Walmart, which we had a wonderful time. A really nice Walmart. I'll do a video on that tomorrow. If you get away from downtown Salem, Massachusetts, this little restaurant right here, he had like cheeseburgers with fries for $6.99, or if you wanted to change it to onion rings, just add 50 cents. Good enough. Yeah, it looked really good. And the food smelled wonderful. It really did. I wanted to see the Punta Art Museum, and basically it's an art museum sprawled throughout the city. Here I am parking. Now there's Salem, Massachusetts, 2 blocks away with all the witch history, and walk 2 blocks, a ton of free parking. All right, back to the Punta Art Museum. I believe there's like 40 murals throughout the city, and I walked through a bunch of them. But they're like right there, right where the bridge is. You can see it from downtown. That's where the free parking begins, no meters. So, I mean, just park on the street if you want to. You know, Malteri hates parking meters. And right now, if you're handicapped, it is free parking. Now, this house, it was really strange. I loved it. I loved the artwork, but there was no signs as to what it is, and I'm sure it's not this House of Seven Gables. That one I was sure of. But I love the architecture, and I was too afraid to ring the doorbell. But look at that thing right there. What is that? I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It really is. So that was a neat house over by the harbor. And yes, I'm sure the sunset would have been lovely last night, but look at that harbor. Everything's pristine and beautiful. You know, yeah, you can do all of Salem, Massachusetts, and I decided to look at the harbor. But yeah, I was just amazed how much free parking there was. And yeah, sometimes I don't like to be where everybody's at. Now, back to downtown Salem. They had a wonderful little Mexican restaurant. Oh, and I love this. That's Paul Revere. They had a dog biscuit shop. I loved it. And Lucy loved it. And they had free samples for her. This little dress shop, I really love. I love the 1950s style dresses. Those are so beautiful, aren't they? And of course, who else is there but Bewitched. We all grew up loving her in the 60s. Loved that TV show. It was so much fun. So they had a tribute to her at the town square. And of course, nice free library. You know, give a book, take a book. That's one way to clean out your van. And this was Flying Saucer Pizza Company. I just thought that was a neat little bike. And they had free dog drinks for Lucy. This is the witch house, and I believe this is from one of the judges that actually condemned one of the witches. And you had to buy your tickets online, and the woman could not get her tickets, and she was getting so frustrated. And shout out to all the National Guard people. Thank you all for your service. Salem is the birthplace of the National Guard. I finally ended up the day at the soup factory. Oh my gosh, the lobster bisque soup was delicious, and it came with 2 pieces of bread. And it was like under $10, but meaty. All right, see you guys down the road.